Meeting webinars are a way you can raise some cosmic dust in your market in a way that never seemed possible before. You can bring people together virtually who might never come together in person. There are lots of ways of doing that. Let's take a look at a different number of ways we can use meetings in real estate and create meeting webinars. Franchises use meetings to talk to franchise owners across very, very large areas, across the country, across a continent, around the world, in a region. A webinar is a great place to bring people together to talk about common goals, common strategies. It's a great, great tool for a franchise. A brokerage can use online meetings when you have a multi-office situation. Bring together managers, bring together department heads, bring together staff and independent contractors. Within a brokerage, have a sales meeting. Not all real estate agents can come to sales meetings. People have really, really conflicting schedules that don't make it real possible to come together, and webinars make that possible. Agent teams, it's the same thing. Agent teams, you've got different people responsible for different things. You may have them located all around town. Being able to have a virtual meeting where people can stay in their own office or do it from their own home office saves people time in travel. Half an hour each way in a car to go to a meeting is an hour that people have to carve out of their day. There are just so many times that you can do that and not really cost people productivity and ultimately hit the bottom line. So working with webinars in teams is a real great idea. You can create an advisory group. Think about an advisory group with people in your market, people in your geographic market who may be able to help you, reach out and reach more people in your demographic market. It's a real great way to share intelligence, share information about the market with an advisory group. And an advisory group can meet online. Create a roundtable. Talk about best practices about any area of your business. Create a roundtable and have a discussion about foreclosures. Have a discussion about short sales. Have a discussion about the best practices that are happening. Create those roundtables. Pass the microphone around from one person to another. Share. You can do that much more easily, much more frequently, and in a very, very rich manner with webinars. Create seminars. In-house seminars for agents, in-house seminars and trainings for your other groups. Again, do that in a meeting format. Customer education. When you're doing this in this kind of a format, that's different than a sales webinar. When you're creating customer education and having meetings, you're inviting a very, very special, rich type of interaction with your consumers, with those people you're bringing into your business as prospects and future customers that you were never able to do before. In a way, you were never able to do it, and do that virtually. Very, very rich way of working with webinars. Let's take a look at a team meeting cycle and an example of how this meeting webinar can work in a real estate team. So we've got a couple of agents who have a team going. Let's call them Jill and Jack, and Jill and Jack are going to schedule a meeting later in the week with their team. They've got some listing agents, they've got some buyers agents, a couple of transaction coordinators, and they're going to be meeting later in the week. They may even invite their VAs to come in. They've got a couple of those. Jill and Jack are going to put together a detailed agenda, and they've they're working with a team that's a very, very busy team. 3 of the members of that team are on the road right now. One of those members is out of town at a conference, and that person is going to attend via an iPhone. I'm sorry, or an iPad or an Android tablet. So that's pretty cool. One of the members of the team is going to register with his iPhone, and another member is not going to be able to attend, but he can catch it on the replay because everything is going to be recorded. Jill and Jack are going to assign a password for the meeting. There are definitely some things they don't want to be sharing with the world or necessarily with other people who have other access to other rooms in their meeting space there. So they're going to record that for their team and ask people to use a password. They're also going to upload documents for review prior to the meeting. Every member of the team has an opportunity to review those documents and then post comments below the space in the collaborative meeting area so that they can start getting on the same page prior to the meeting. During the meeting, the team leader is going to present a PowerPoint with a succinct outline of all of the major points, all of the points he wants to talk about, and then team members are going to share other documents in the meeting space. So people who have information relative to the projects, germane to the task at hand, will be able to share that. They're also able to add additional people to the space during the week. They may invite some other people in. There may be a lender who is going to be joining an open house promotion and be available at an open house to do some pre-qualifying. Maybe has a team to do that as well. They are able to schedule recurring meetings. Maybe they have just figured out that would be a very, very cool thing to do, to have recurring meetings at the same time every week, and they can do that very, very quickly. All members have access to the recordings and the files, and they have access on demand. So the entire recording of the meeting is available. If people want to listen to it again, listen to a certain part of it, they can do that, and they can download those files again. Team members who are working on a project, who are working in Excel or working in Word or working in another document, may have some thoughts as they're working on it. They can start an instant meeting and jump right into that collaborative meeting area right from those documents, right from within those documents, and start an instant meeting with another person on their team just like that. Sharing files was never easier than it is right now in a meeting webinar. People within a group, within a meeting webinar, can collaborate to create presentations and reports right online. You can create a file in a media library. You can create an entire library of materials that people on your team can use, that you can take out of the file at any given point in time during a meeting webinar to present to the group, to review with the group, and to work with. Those same files are files that may be contract files. You can have a meeting again with clients. You can be presenting a contract for a buyer or a seller to review before signing. You can be presenting your listing contract, for goodness sake. Anyway, you can create a media library and do that in the file. You can assign privileges and permissions to people so that only some people can make changes on a contract. And you can leave messages for people in a meeting space, kind of like putting a sticker on a bulletin board. You can create your own virtual bulletin board right in your meeting space. Team members can share their relevant emails in a meeting space. Lots of engagement happens there. People with a high level of permission to run the room, a room monitor, a virtual room monitor, can have a list and create a list of people who can share certain materials. You may have a team or a room where you invite strategic partners. You may invite people from a title company, from the lending community, from the housing counseling community. You may have different levels of permissions for different people to share different documents depending upon the project in which you're engaged. You can share updated files and notes about changes. Final files can contain history notes. You can lock them. So file management in a meeting space is very, very great. And the other neat thing that's very, very neat with the way the technology is emerging is the way that you can use mobile applications in webinars. And people now, are signing in and attending webinars on their smartphones. They're using the iPad to attend webinars on a lot of platforms, and they're using the Android tablet. So mobile applications are bringing people together. You can have your meetings with people all over the place, and they don't even have to, be sitting at a computer. They can be working someplace in a remote area using a mobile device and still be able to participate, still be able to see what you have to share, still be able to review documents and do all of that type of interaction right from their tablets or their smartphones. One of the things you hear me talk about these days, and I talk about it a lot, is cross-channel marketing. And cross-channel marketing is a way, and a way of thinking and a way of running your business that is about integrating your platforms, making one kind of technology work with another kind of technology. Use what you have and make it better and more efficient. It's not about using a lot of different things separately, a lot of multiple platforms everywhere. That is very, very hard. That gets very confusing, and it's very, very time consuming. Using productivity tools in a webinar situation is a perfect example of really making the best of technology. You already have some kind of email client. You're already using Outlook or some other type of email client, calendar client. When you can schedule a meeting right from that email client, right from your calendar, you're going to be 2 steps ahead of everybody else. Be able to upload documents to a meeting space. Being able to start and join meetings right from your calendar, and being able to initiate meetings right from within a document as you're creating a Word document, as you're creating a PowerPoint, or as you're creating an Excel spreadsheet. When something comes up and you need to have some kind of interaction with a team member or a strategic partner or somebody, and you can do that and initiate that contact right from that document, that's going to make your life a whole lot easier at the end of the day. When you're making it easier, when you're working more efficiently, when you're able to be more effective, that's when you see dramatic results in your business. And that, ultimately, you're going to see dramatic results in your bottom line.